Before I talk about the industry perspective, I'm Chao Yuan. I'm from American Express. How many of you heard of American Express? Everyone? Okay. That sounds like a very friendly audience. I was thinking how much I can say, how much secret I'll tell you. My PR person is there and keep me in control. But things are so nice, I'll talk a little bit more. We are a company of 167 years. So if you remember my presentation about one number, remember that number. 167 years, we have a long history. There's not a whole lot of company in this world that has operating after 170 years and as successful as American Express. We are a big company. I'm not going to go through all these numbers, but one thing I do want you to know that we are operating over more than 20 different countries in the world. I know this is a very diversified group, but I'm pretty sure that doesn't matter where you're from. There's a good chance that you can see American Express office. Frankly, that we're also going through a transformation in the company. We consider that every 50 years we have to reinvent ourselves, and this is also true for the industry. If you look at the recent years, technology, big data has advanced so rapidly. One of the common trends we have seen in this transformation is a lot of the independent analytical groups start to converge, whether you're analyzing to support customer service or risk management or marketing, commerce, start to converge using the same platform, same data. Even the title, you guys, data scientist, I never heard about that 10 years ago. When I started this job, I heard the title of statistician, econometrician, analyst, and now it's all converged. It's converged. And the common foundation of all of this is the data. I think that here, just to give you an example, that for financial service company, we have tremendous amount of data. We have 100 millions of customers transact at millions of merchants every single day. And you can imagine that there are billions decisions we have to make every day. And how do we make smart decisions? That's very important. And I think thanks to machine learning, make our life much easier. I think big data, machine learning, we just as the start of a journey. So people always come to me, ask me the question, how do you evaluate data science skills? Is this company has better data science than another company? Is this data scientist better than another data scientist? So I always say that there are three things that I look at it. One is data standardization. How good you are at standardize your data. Anomaly detection, that's my favorite. And what's your skill of identifying anomaly? Tell me about it. And the third area is feature engineering. So when Alexander asked me, say, what's the topic that we can co-sponsor in this conference? I say, okay, why don't we choose anomaly detection? Let's get some really, really smart people to talk about that. So remember, so come to me, ask me to evaluate data science skills. Those are three areas that I look at it, whether it's individual or it's a company. So now let's focus on anomaly detection. In other time, we talk about other topics. But today, we are focused on anomaly detection. I do want to share with some industry examples. And those are common challenges. Okay, I use simple examples to illustrate the concept. But those are real examples. Okay, the first example is new account application. So if you do not have American Express card yet, I do encourage to do that during the conference. So when you apply American Express card, you need to fill up a lot of questions. Okay, so here is a real applications. 26 years old, income 100 million. Okay, and FICO score 641, external credit limit $500. So the question is that normal for 26 years old applicants to make $100 million a year? That sounds very extreme. Like I said, I use an extreme example to illustrate, but that happens every day in our system. I'm sure in every big banks. How do you triangulate all these data elements, say, wait a second, that data is not consistent. If you be like this, you cannot be like that. And you can identify that in a systematic way and trigger some alert for you. And before you're actually going the modeling, scoring, and figure, is this data really reliable? Okay, one example. I'll give you another example. This is, again, real examples. Customer income is 125,000, decent income. But when I look at the payment data, I have received 99 payments in 3 months. Okay, total amount is 68,000. What's going on here? That sounds anomaly. Okay. Again, we at company, we are monitoring millions of those transactions. And we need to wait systematically to say, those data doesn't sound right. We need to do something with it. Okay? The other example here, the third example, fraud attack. I heard about fraud a lot. And these days, the individual fraud, I'm not too concerned about it. The fraud incidents that keep me up at night are those massive data compromise. And suddenly we lose data for millions of customers. And the fraudsters getting really smart, and they're taking advantage of the technology. This is we call bot attack. It's not a human being fill up applications. It's computer set it up, and in seconds, thousands of applications being filled up. Okay, and that happened. Trust me, that happened in multiple banks. And if you look at the thousands of applications, they use same employer name. They even stay the same income. How likely that is? But if you never have seen that event before, do you trust your system you can automatically identify them? 100%. So I hope I leave you some concrete examples that you can think about the challenges the industry is facing. And to solve those challenges means billions of dollars for the industry. Okay. And we have tons of data. Remember, we have tons of data we're analyzing, but we need people like you help us. Okay. I've been American Express for more than 20 years. I'm never tired of my job. I always feel, I tell people, very honestly, I have the best job in the world. Why I have best job? Because I have so much data I can analyzing. I can get so much intelligent information. And then I leverage this information in our models, whether it's risk, response, credit, or fraud. It generates tremendous value to the business. The only thing is that I always feel like we need more intelligent people. That one of the motivation for me to work in this job is that I can learn from a lot of people internally and especially externally. It's just collaboration with all the experts that in the room is a fantastic opportunity. So I love to have this opportunity, and if you have interest in working with American Express in any ways, whether you want to collaborate on a project or just come to work for us, and I trust you will not regret. We have tremendous opportunity in the company. Even though we're 167 years old, but we continue to survive and growing fast. Okay, that's it.
Thank you.